Hi there everyone, this is Scott Nicholson here from the Gambit Game Lab at MIT for one of my last few updates from my sabbatical. I've been doing fewer of these because I've been traveling back and forth to Syracuse as I'm wrapping things up here, reestablishing myself back there, moving things back and forth. So I haven't been doing as much here at MIT because I'm sort of in transition again. But thought I'd catch you up on what's happened in the last couple weeks. So I made it through the Boston 5K, which was the day before the Boston Marathon. It used the same finish gates as the Boston Marathon, and I'll say that was pretty cool, actually, running and completing that Boston 5K. And I ran the whole way. I did it in 35 minutes and 11 seconds, which, given that I was carrying probably 100 pounds more than most of the people out there, I was pretty happy with that. It was actually nice in that I knew my pace that I needed to do to survive a 5K. And so at the launch, a lot of people blew past me. And then as the race went on, I noticed that a lot of those people were walking, and I was able to keep going. So that felt really good, knowing myself enough to be able to run that whole way. I ended up placing about 4,500 out of 6,000 people. So I came in the 75th percentile, which again, for having never done it before and carrying as much weight as I am and being over 40, I was quite happy with that. In fact, I enjoyed it so much, I'm continuing to do my running. I'm doing a 5K every other day, and tomorrow I'm joining the MIT Spring Beaver Dash, which is another 5K that's going to go on. I'm going to continue to look for opportunities. Speaking of which, the next one I'm going to be doing, I'm going to be going to Origins this year, which is a large gaming event. In fact, I'm giving a presentation. If you're going to be at Origins or you're interested in going, Thursday morning at 10 a.m., I'm doing a seminar on how to turn your passion in gaming into a profit. The idea is how to take, if you really like gaming, how to take that passion and take it into your workplace. Opportunities in workplaces for you to take your interest in gaming and make it something you can do on a more regular basis and make money off of it. So that's going to be Thursday morning at 10 a.m. at Origins. And on Saturday morning at Origins, or in Columbus, near Columbus, there's another 5K, and I'm going to do it. So if you have interest in coming out, you've got enough time between now and then to do the Couch to 5K program, and you can give it a shot, and you can join me and some others in running that 5K as part of the Origins event. Other things I'm doing this summer, I know I've talked about this before, but just to remind folks, I'm speaking about meaningful gamification at the Games Learning and Society Conference in Madison, Wisconsin. Shortly after that, I'm going to be speaking in New York City at the Games for Change Conference, talking about how libraries can be used in serious games. Shortly after that, I'm going to Anaheim to the American Library Association Conference, where Friday night of the American Library Association Conference, I'm going to be helping out with the large ALA play event. Hopefully I'm going to be doing some face painting at that event. And then Saturday morning of ALA, I'm doing two things in a row at 8 a.m., helping to do a panel on adult play and doing games in academic libraries. And at 10 a.m., I'm organizing an activity on interactive fiction for the Games and Gaming Roundtable, and so there'll be lots of opportunities there at ALA to do some interesting stuff. And then after that, I take a nap. But anyway, so that's what's going on there. Tomorrow night, Saturday night, if you're in the Boston area and you want to do some game design, I'm helping to run right now with this big Cambridge Science Festival at the MIT Museum Saturday night from 6 to 9 p.m. There's going to be several different game design programs being put on by the Gambit Lab. The one I'm doing is based off of Bernie DeCoven's work. It's the Junkyard Track Meet. He does something called the Junkyard Olympics, but we didn't want to interfere with possibly trademark issues of the Olympics, so we call it the Junkyard Track Meet. It's designed as a game design event for the whole family. So you can bring your family down, you can work together as a group to design a track meet event based upon junk that I give you, and you'll be competing in everyone else's events. And so it's a good way to think about what are games and what is game design, but it's really targeted towards all ages to be able to engage with that. So that's Saturday night, coming up in just 2 days at the MIT Museum. There are still spaces. It costs $5, but you could just you can pre-register online at gambit.mit.edu. You can find the information there. So, doing a lot of stuff as I wrap up all these projects here at the end of the year, gearing up for my move back to Syracuse, and I'm looking forward to continuing a lot of the work that I'm doing back there. It's been interesting. I was talking to someone today about what's happened to me at MIT. What's interesting is that my research has actually shifted, and I've talked about this before, but my research is really focused now on the impact that games have on people. And I'm looking at the informational impact. And I've been looking at the recreational impact, but now I'm really moving into serious games and meaningful gamification with the idea of how do games pass information on to people. And what's interesting about this is it lets me take my decades of thinking about information and bring it into the game space, thinking about the game as an information container, and using the same concepts that we've used for understanding other forms of media as information containers, and bringing that into the game as an information container. And it's I think actually my time here has made me strengthen that, because it's in opposition to the way that a lot of people in game studies treat the game as text, treat the game as an independent object to be analyzed. And I argue that you shouldn't do that, that what you really need to look at is the game experience. And that is a combination of the game, the player, and the context. And that's what you need to understand. The game by itself doesn't exist without players. And when players get involved, then you have a specific gaming experience. And that is what I'm focusing on. Stronger and stronger, almost in opposition to the way that a lot of game studies people look at what's going on with gaming. So, that's enough for me, but that's what's been happening with me here at MIT. A month from now, I'm going to be settling in Syracuse. Actually, I'll be at Origins a month from now, but after that, back home in Syracuse. And looking forward to teaching my gamification class in the fall. Take care, and I'll talk to you all later. Bye-bye.